alert days in the forecast due to the heat. We are breaking down the details coming up just seconds away.
The Christmas parade suspect back in court. What he's asking for in his upcoming murder trial.
Also, overwhelmed airlines, delays and cancellations beginning early for the busy summer travel season. If there's any relief in sight. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to News 3 Now this morning. I'm Chris Stanford.
And I'm Leah Lynchine. Thanks for waking up with us. We're starting off the week with an alert day for some heat today.
Today is where it's going to be pretty steamy out there. Chris Reese is here now. They're certified most accurate forecast to get us started. Hey, Chris.
Yeah, today's the steam, but tomorrow's really when we spice up to sizzling because the heat gets going as we start to move into parts of your Tuesday. That being said, yes, we do have the alert day in the forecast for today and tomorrow. That is due to the heat and the humidity, and I'm already talking about ways you can beat that heat and humidity. One of the things, it's light clothes, and around this time of the year, people are always saying, Chris, why are you wearing a sweater vest? There's a reason for it. It's a lot lighter and a lot looser fitting as opposed to the full suit. And I'm able to roll up the sleeves. It is way more comfortable and breathable when it comes to the heat outside. So I do take my own advice, trust me. So that light and loose fitting clothing, that's going to be important. Cool spots as well. Limit the outside time when it comes to that strenuous activity. AC maintenance if you need it. That's going to be important. But the most important is to stay hydrated. We love to drink a good beer around here, and we like our caffeine, but water is really important, especially when it is this hot. The sun high in the sky already, 71, dew points into the lower 50s, so it's actually not too bad as you begin to step out the door now, but the heat is going to be on the way. 50s, 60s, and 70s show up across parts of southern Wisconsin this morning. While Toma's at 58, 59 in Lone Rock, 68 for Mineral Point. Madison, one of the warmest spots, coming in at 71 right now. You plan out the day, I expect us warming up to 92, but we do see sunshine all day long. So if you wanted to take a splash in the pool, go for a swim, today is going to be an incredible day to do it. Even tomorrow's going to be good, but it does get hot. Again, low 90s for us this afternoon. We'll keep those winds out of the south. That's funneling in that humidity, and then tomorrow could be the mid to upper 90s, depending on where you are. Now, there will be a cold front that does move through at some point tomorrow afternoon. It is all about the timing to really begin to see just how hot we are going to get. But I really want to stress beating that heat while you're out and about. Again, the light-colored and loose-fitting clothing is going to be important. And again, avoiding the alcohol and caffeine. Water is best, but also check on the pets and check the back seat. We don't want to leave anyone back there and lead to a tragedy, so make sure that you're doing that. The alert days do expire by Wednesday. Still going to be pretty warm though, 85, 87 on Thursday, 90 again by Friday, but we'll also see a chance for some showers and thunderstorms Friday into Saturday. We are cooler as we start to move into next week. I'm actually excited about that. Temperatures in the low 80s. Will feel like a breath of fresh air. Of course, it's summer, so it's still going to be a little mugginess, but it'll be a lot less humid next week compared to what we're dealing with now.
Those dew points tomorrow are like almost off the charts, steamy.
Those dew points tomorrow are, I had a visible reaction to them.
You did?
I'll put it that way. We're going to share those dew points at 6:30. Oof. So, yeah, I'll talk about those.
What a tease.
Thanks, Chris. Happening today, the man accused of killing 6 and injuring dozens more during a Christmas parade last year will be in court.
Darrell Brooks has a motion hearing today ahead of his trial scheduled for October. Last November, he drove his SUV through a Christmas parade in downtown Waukesha. In April, the judge denied a motion to move the trial back. Today's motion is an attempt to move the trial out of Waukesha County or bring in a jury from a different county. New this morning, 2 people arrested last night after a fight broke out at Dimitri Park. It happened where while there were several big family gatherings going on. According to police, several people ended up pulling out firearms. No one was hurt, though. Police did confiscate 2 guns from the scene. There is no further threat to the public. Happening tomorrow, the January 6th hearings will resume, with 3 more hearings still set to happen. This week, the House Select Committee will show former President Trump was involved in a plot to get states to name alternate slates or electors following the 2020 election. Tomorrow's hearing will feature testimony from Arizona House Speaker Rusty Bowers. He says President Trump asked him to change the state's law to choose different electors. Georgia's Secretary of State, Brad Raffensperger, will also testify that he was pressured in a phone call to find more votes.
I just want to find 11,780 votes, which is one more than we have.
You can watch CBS's special report on the hearing. We are going to air that live tomorrow at noon.
As summer is kicking off, the nation's airlines are already overwhelmed. Multiple airlines with already reduced schedules are being hit with thousands of disruptions. Despite rising demand with summer approaching, many airlines say they don't have the capacity to add more flights. Since Thursday of last week, more than 19,000 flights have been delayed or even canceled.
Sad to miss Father's Day with my daughter because I'm stuck here in the airport.
We drove 5 hours already to get here, and now we are delayed and are struggling with this.
Air carriers blamed disruptions on several factors, including severe weather and staffing shortages. In a statement, Delta said, canceling a flight's always our last resort, and we sincerely apologize to our customers for the inconvenience to their travel plans.
6:05 now. Summer vacation underway for students across Wisconsin, and for many kids, that means camp time.
For first-timers, it could cause some anxiety, though. Our McKenna Alexander joins us now to share some ways that you can help your kid prepare for summer camp. Hey, McKenna.
Yeah, you too. Now, it's not very common for a kid to come home from camp saying they had a horrible time. But still, the first summer away from home can be intimidating, overwhelming, and honestly just downright scary. So before you pack their duffel bags and put them on a bus or plane this summer, try and turn their anxiety into excitement.
You want to get them as excited as possible. So talk about the trips, talk about the activities they're going to be doing. Reflect on how this summer is going to be very different from any other summer experience that they might have had before. And chances are good your kid's going to fall in love with camp almost immediately.
Bachman, who runs Camp Highlands for Boys in Center, Wisconsin, has several other suggestions when it comes to getting your kid excited. These include watching videos on the camp's website or YouTube channel, looking at pictures so they can get an idea of where they'll be spending a few days or weeks, and reviewing the camp's daily schedule so they know what to expect during a typical day away from home. And of course, make sure your camper has all the information they need to contact you. Maybe that's a list of phone numbers, or if phones aren't allowed, some stationery and addresses to write home. Now, believe it or not, it's often the parents that have the hardest time away from their child. Tomorrow morning, we'll hear from Andy again on how you can make that separation a little less stressful.
I always wanted to go to camp.
You never went to camp?
I never went to camp as a kid.
I spent 10 years at camp, 11.
And look how great you turned out.
Camp does wonderful things.
Yeah.
All right, great information this morning, McKenna. Something a lot of folks are dealing with right now. Appreciate it. If your email inbox is out of control with maybe hundreds or thousands of messages, here's some advice for you.
Yeah, Consumer Reports has some easy tips for you to get rid of your digital clutter.
I never deleted any, so I had more than 200,000 emails.
Nicholas DeLeon is a tech editor at Consumer Reports, and apparently someone who doesn't like to delete anything, or at least that's the old Nicholas. After receiving an email from Google saying he was about to be charged for more storage space for his Gmail account, he decided it was time to start cutting back.
I became very dedicated to eliminating those kind of like little subscriptions from my life.
And Google makes digital house cleaning a little easier with its storage manager.
So if you have like photos or videos or like giant PDFs or things like that, it'll highlight, but like, hey, you've got all this stuff. Do you want to delete it?
Next, he searched his account for companies and brands he interacts with a lot.
I don't need, electronics retailer circulars from 2009.
Like Nicholas, you can also use the search tool to find emails with attachments or ones from certain dates. Then you can even create a filter to delete the emails it catches.
Over the course of 2 days, a couple hours each day, it was more than 100,000 emails I was able to delete.
As you're deleting emails, take note of any old digital accounts you don't use anymore, because keeping them open can create a security risk.
The companies could be hacked and the information could get into the wrong hands.
You can also find forgotten accounts using the welcome email you got when signing up. You can also search your common usernames online, check your browser for any saved passwords, or your personal password manager. And if you signed up for any accounts through social media like Facebook, you'll find them there. As for Nicholas, he says he's working hard to keep his inbox in check, and now he's more vigilant about what emails he keeps.
Do I need this delivery notification? Do I need this newsletter?
6:09 now. Coming up, Chris Reese continues to track the heat. Triple-digit indices possible this week, plus when we'll see a cool down anytime soon.
And the Brewers are playing some pretty quality baseball right now. If Milwaukee can do something they haven't in just about a month.
At Bob's, choice and value go together like sofas and love seats. Like my Forte reclining sofa or console love seat with loads of features like Bobopedic memory foam seating. And it comes in 2 colors. Your choice, only $7.99 each.
Big Bob's discount.
Shop with the fan experts at Madison Lighting to choose a quality fan that really cools your space, indoors or out, and you'll love the chic way it looks. All fans are on sale till June 20th at Madison Lighting on Watts Road.
Visiting the DePaco Credit Union was the thing that started all this.
We had a lot of student loan debt, low credit scores for bad decisions we had made in our younger years.
We thought it was the point where you could never come back from it. We've always wanted to own our own restaurant, so I just kind of floated the idea like, oh, I found this food truck.
I was like, yeah, let's try it. DePaco helped us so much with just putting everything together.
Definitely life-changing for us.
What we have right now would not have been possible without DePaco Credit Union.
Hi, I'm Daryl from Little America.
Blake and his cousin Connor are here with their families from Madison today. What's your favorite ride? Connor's older sister, Cassie, told me her favorite is the go-karts. Mom loves that she can bring a picnic basket, and Dad enjoys miniature golf. There's fun for the whole family at Little America, where big fun is only a few miles away.
A dream is the spark of greatness, but it's nothing without drive.
Now shine on, 'cause we're made from the stars.
Introducing the all-new Honda HR-V. With impressive sporty style, inside and out. From the brand owners are calling most fun to drive. Honda, the power of dreams.
The Spring Green Art Fair is coming June 25th and 26th to downtown Spring Green. Hundreds of artists from around the nation will be there both days. Don't miss the fun and excitement June 25th and 26th in Spring Green.
Most senators couldn't tell you the cost of a gallon of milk. Thanks, Ruben. Or how much beef has gone up this year. But I'm not like most senators or any of the other millionaires running for Senate. My mom was a teacher and my dad worked third shift. I know how hard you work. And I know that by bringing manufacturing home, we create jobs and we lower costs. If we want to change Washington, we got to change the people we send there. I'm Mandela Barnes and I approve this message.
Go forth and save this 4th of July at Bob's Discount Furniture with our best financing options ever. 6 months, 12 months, 30 months, and my new 60-month option. And with so many financing options to choose from, 4th of July is gonna be lit.
You are watching News 3 Now this morning.
Okay, Chris Reese. Got the 10-day forecast up already, giving us a little tease.
It's open.
Yeah.
To the end of your forecast.
Yeah, we're talking about a lot of heat coming our way at the moment.
We're going to Tarantino this. We're going to show you.
Exactly. A lot of heat coming our way right now. That's at least in the short term. We do start to cool off a little bit as we start to move towards next week. That is where we're going to see a lot of those temperatures cooling down into the lower 80s. It starts to feel a lot more comfortable at that point. But in the short term, one thing is for sure, that is the heat that we do have coming our way. In fact, we have a lot of heat advisories across parts of the upper Midwest, along with some of those excessive heat warnings. The excessive heat warnings, those are mainly across parts of Minnesota at this point. No heat advisories for southern Wisconsin now, but I do expect some heat advisories to get issued later today in anticipation of the heat that I'm expecting for tomorrow. That being said, the bottom line is this: heat causes more fatalities than any other weather-related hazard. Yes, the weather is nice, but heat can be incredibly dangerous, folks. Last year, roughly to more than, actually, 1,000 people died due to that heat. And so when it's this humid, the sweat is ineffective. Your body's natural way of trying to cool you off is ineffective. And of course, never leave people or pets in hot cars. So again, light colored and loose fitting clothing, that's going to be really helpful for you. Also, avoiding the alcohol and the caffeine is great as well. Water is best. That on its own will help you stay cool and more comfortable while you're out and about. And again, check on the pets and check the back seat. As temperatures start to warm up towards 90, your car becomes an oven, and within minutes, we're well over 100 degrees. Within an hour, you're over 130 degrees, and that's a 90. So tomorrow, when the forecast high is 96, it gets hotter faster inside that car. And again, I'm going to show this one all morning, and I'm going to have it on the website, and I'm going to have it on social media. But know that difference between heat exhaustion and heat stroke. One is immediately treatable. The other one becomes a medical emergency that does require you to call 911. So watch yourself, take care of yourself while you are out and about. And of course, we're going to get through this heat wave together.
Chris Reese, we really appreciate all this information. This is a big deal.
Yeah, no problem.
All right, 6:15 now. After a brutal start to the month of June, the Milwaukee Brewers finally getting their mojo back.
They were headed into Sunday with a series win, and Brewers going for the sweep. Start things off in the fourth. Luis Arias with an RBI double. Then Victor Caratini, he's going to get in on the action. 2-run shot for him. That adds to the Brewers' lead. Then Hunter Renfroe. He's going to go deep as well. He hits a homer for his 3rd straight game. Brewers pull away from the Reds. The Crew end up winning 6-3. That's a sweep of Cincinnati. Milwaukee now tied for the lead in the NL Central. They play the St. Louis Cardinals at AmFam Field for a 4-game series starting tonight.
In Milwaukee, the Juneteenth holiday this weekend was celebrated with art, energy, and small businesses setting up shop for the 51st annual parade in that city. Jessica Madhuka reports.
Pride and unity filled the air as Milwaukee celebrated Juneteenth. This parade and festival is a 51-year-old tradition that celebrates the end of slavery in the United States.
I've been attending Juneteenth since I was a little girl, for as long as I can remember.
As a little girl, Kiara Perry had some of the best memories attending the parade with her grandmother.
Thought it was super special to wear something from her because she's not here. And from my earliest memories, she brought us down to Juneteenth. Seeing kids here, it's so important because, as you know, this wasn't taught in school. So this has to be taught through families and through conversations.
A priority for Trissa Smith and her 2 kids.
They need to know where we come from and to what we have currently in our city, and that there's still positivity around us.
The parade transformed into a festival where local vendors could show off their crafts and share some fresh soul food staples.
I'm making jerk chicken and garlic butter chicken, and I have a honey garlic chicken, and I have roasted corn.
Out of the many barbecue vendors cooking up some mouth-watering delicacies, Jermaine Price, a local chef, used his secret recipes and spices to share his roots.
Actually, I'm giving people a little bit culture, actually, with the food also. So, I mean, just trying to share our culture with everybody.
And we can't forget the sweet treats.
My caramel cakes, my German chocolate cakes. I have the lemon pound cake.
Tanya McCarty was very busy selling her baked goods.
I come with the old school sweets that we had from grandmother.
Local businesses were booming, and it was all for the culture. This was the case for Carol and Hugh, the owner originally from Ghana.
My whole goal is to make kids appreciate their culture, the African culture, because you see a lot of grown folks in the print, but you hardly see kids like at the park or at school with the print.
There was something for everyone to embrace culture and heritage.
It's like this is a time to become a family on one day, you know what I mean?
Happy Juneteenth!
That was Jessica Madhuka reporting. Coming up on CBS Mornings, the city of St. Louis marking Juneteenth by dedicating a memorial to a forgotten chapter of American history. You may remember the Dred Scott case, a slave who sued Missouri, claiming he and his family had lived for a time in a free state and that they should be granted their freedom. The case sparked an 11-year legal battle that the U.S. Supreme Court ultimately threw out in a much criticized ruling that helped put the nation on a collision course with the Civil War. Turns out Scott was not the only person to file a freedom suit. This morning, CBS News' Chris Van Cleve introduces us to a St. Louis judge, himself a descendant of slaves, who helped make a memorial to the people behind the freedom suits a reality.
All right, keep your eyes open for some vintage cars that will be headed through Wisconsin on a race this summer. More than 100 cars taking to the streets in Rhode Island this weekend to kick off the annual Great Race. Thousands gathered at Rocky Point State Park in that state to cheer on teams at the start of the race. Each car has 2 people inside, a driver and a navigator, and their car has to be made before 1974. Drivers will race through 19 cities across 10 states, including Wisconsin, before they finish in Fargo, North Dakota.
We have spent hours just trying to practice. Not sure if it's all going to work out, but we're hoping.
This is pretty cool. It's not a speed race, though. Instead, the 120 teams are scored on how precisely they follow the more than 200 course instructions every day.
What an adventure.
Yeah, I'll be looking for these when they drive through Wisconsin. 120 vintage cars in a row.
Probably pretty tough to miss.
Yeah, that's true. Not as tough as the naked bike ride from over the weekend. A close second. A close second.
All right, coming up, Velveeta giving a new meaning to the phrase finger food.
And ahead in our next half hour, Mark Kane introducing us to the future of farming. Stay with us.
Go to Amazon.com/skills to enable Channel 3000 news briefs.
I'm Rebecca, and you might know me from reality TV. And this was my stubborn body fat that I just couldn't get rid of. But then I went to Sono Bello, and they permanently removed my body fat in just one visit.
It is so intensely gratifying for one visit to make this big of a change. It's amazing.
Sono Bello's board-certified surgeons use micro-laser technology to safely target and remove your diet-resistant fat cells permanently on your stomach, hips and thighs, back, and so much more.
It feels incredible to look down, and it's flat. Thank you again, Sono Bello. I'm so happy.
Schedule your free, no-obligation consultation and find out how you can get $250 off instantly. Call 1-800-595-1532 or go to sonobello.com.
The challenges we face today feel monumental. Inflation, gas prices, and now an unthinkable threat to a woman's right to choose. I'm Alex Lasry, and I have a track record of getting things done. That's how you know I'll work for you. By lowering prescription drug prices, putting more money into people's pockets, and protecting every woman's right to choose, no matter what. This is why we must defeat Ron Johnson and start meeting our challenges head on. That's why I approve this message.
When my family opened the first Culver's in Sauk City, Wisconsin, you know what we did? We gave it our all, making sure everyone felt welcome, sharing our favorite foods from around the state, like Butterburgers and fresh frozen custard, greeting every guest with all our heart, crafting each meal with care, believing a smile makes everything taste better. And it's a tradition we bring with us yet today, from our hometown to yours. Welcome to Delicious.
How do you use your energy? Giving back to your community? Fueling your drive to deliver hope for neighbors in need? At Alliant Energy, we're creating more clean, renewable energy every single day to power what matters to you. Because even during the most powerful moments in our lives, we're not thinking about power. We're thinking about a brighter future. Alliant Energy, powering beyond.
Dude, great ride. Right? This Silverado keeps me connected and in control. And this touchscreen is my command center. My command center.
The 2022 Silverado LT. Find new control. Find new roads.
Well-qualified buyers can get 1.9% financing on all 2022 Silverado 1500 pickups. See your Badgerland Chevy dealer today.
We are back sharing Linda's morning with you. Shot from in Decor, Wisconsin. Looking beautiful, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, she said it was a beautiful start to Father's Day. Taken just yesterday.
I have to say, I think Endeavor, Wisconsin is a very beautiful place. We've gotten a lot of pictures from there.
We have.
Yeah, and this place is, it seems pretty awesome.
We're all speechless.
Because
it's a picture without a cow.
Everybody knows
What's
that
going
Endeavor
on here?
is beautiful.
That's true.
Thank you, Linda. If you want to share your morning, use the hashtag MyNews3Morning when you post on social media.
Okay, fans of American cheese can now make a fashion statement on their fingertips.
I don't know about this. Velveeta has teamed up with a British beauty brand on a limited edition set of 2 cheese-scented polishes. One is red, called Finger Food. The yellow is called La Dolce Velveeta.
Ooh.
It comes with a set of Velveeta-themed nail stickers, too. The stickers feature gooey cheese graphics and buzzwords like creamy and drip.
Buzzwords, huh?
You can order these cheesy collaborations for $15. My girls have the hardest time keeping their nail polish on.
Do you do a lot of painting?
I don't. My wife does.
Do you get your nails done a lot?
No, I know.
I've never seen that on you.
Maybe I can get started with some Velveeta nail polish.
Chris Reese would leave the couch if your fingers smelled like cheese.
Yeah, we learned today that Chris has a severe displeasure for cheese-scented fingers.
I love nachos. They are my favorite thing in the world. Like, cheese is pretty confidently my favorite food. But when cheese gets on the fingers and then it starts to dry, like, I must immediately wash my hands or else I cannot stand the smell.
It's a very specific phobia that we have learned
I do not like
today.
it. So,
very specific.
But what cracks me up, as you're reading the whole thing, I don't know why, I just imagined, like, a pot of queso and someone taking like some acrylic nails and be like, yeah, I'm just gonna dip them.
Yeah, like a fondue pot and you just dip it in there.
There seems to be so much wrong, but maybe there's a lot that's right and I'm knocking it before I try. I don't know.
I'd like to eat my cheese rather than wear it, but that's just me. No judgment.
Right here in Wisconsin. Real quick though, here's a pool day forecast for you. I'm going to show this to you again when we come back at 6:30, and don't forget we got to take a look at those dew points coming up. But it is a good pool day. Temperatures top out to the low 90s.
All right, thanks, Chris. Keep it right here, folks. More News 3 Now this morning, right after this.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
When the family can't get enough of your signature dish, get everything you need with Pick and Save free pickup with no surprise fees. So start your cart today. Pick and Save, fresh for everyone.
Joe Biden opened America's borders, increasing the flow of deadly drugs into our communities. Last year, over 105,000 people died of drug overdoses in America. Biden's putting our children and families at risk. Ron Johnson is warning everyone that drug traffickers are adding fentanyl to counterfeit pills, and it only takes one pill to kill. Please tell your children and support law enforcement.
I'm Ron Johnson, and I approve this message.
Here's a dose of reality. Driving under the influence of prescription painkillers is just as illegal and just as deadly as driving drunk. In fact, drugged driving deaths in Wisconsin have increased nearly 200% over the past 10 years. Help prevent drugged driving, and let's achieve 0 preventable deaths on Wisconsin roadways. Driving on pills kills.
Get inspired. Tour 30 custom homes and see the newest trends. The Parade of Homes, exclusively sponsored by Nuns, is open daily, June 17th through 26th. Visit MadisonParadeOfHomes.com for tickets and more information.
A Stanley steamer started with one man, a van, and a whole lot of carpet. We've been innovating for a long time. Stanley steamer now goes beyond carpet. We've been cleaning tile and grout, upholstery, rugs, air ducts, and a whole lot more. We don't just clean carpets, we clean homes. So when your home needs a cleaning, give us a ring at 1-800-STEAMER.
Shop with the fan experts at Madison Lighting to choose a quality fan that really cools your space. Indoors or out, and you'll love the chic way it looks. All fans are on sale till June 20th at Madison Lighting on Watts Road.
Dear gas prices, Toyota's hybrid lineup says,
go take a hike. Because we bring efficiency with power and savings with style. Think you can stand in our way? We got this. Toyota Hybrids.
Every new Toyota comes with Toyota Care, our no-cost maintenance plan with roadside assistance. Find yours at toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
With the Pick and Save app, you can get personalized coupons on top of weekly sales, all for prices that are lower than low. Pick and Save, fresh for everyone.
You can take a splash, or you can let Mother Nature splash on you. Lots of high humidity is coming our way as we heat back up.
Arrests made after an attack on campus that some are calling racially motivated.
Also, vaccines for kids 5 and younger are on the way when the shots will be available. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to News 3 Now this morning on a Monday. I'm Chris Stanford.
I'm Leah Lynchide. Thanks for waking up with us. It's an alert day for some heat starting today.
And humidity tomorrow. Bad combination. Couple of alert days in your forecast. Chris Reese is here with your certified most accurate. Hey there, Chris.
Hey, I'm starting off with the full forecast again because it's a great day to do it. We are looking at sunshine all day, no thunderstorms. Temperatures will top out into the lower 90s this afternoon, but the humidity, it's going to be on the increase. I want to show you some of those dew points. As you head out this door right now, it's not bad. It's really not all that humid. It actually feels quite good. But later on this afternoon, those dew points get heavy, folks. We're talking about, nope, going right back inside to downright don't talk to me. It is going to be insanely humid, especially as we start to move towards tomorrow. That being said, dew points in the 50s for most of southern Wisconsin. You see where dew points are already into the 60s, just back towards the west. But I want to show you that change moving into the rest of our afternoon. This is this afternoon. Dew points get to the 70s. Your clothes are sticking to you. At this point, you walk outside, you instantly begin to sweat when those dew points are into the low 70s. But tomorrow, we could be talking dew points into the mid and upper 70s, maybe even close to 80 in some spots. See, it's choking me up. It's really going to be uncomfortable as we start to get towards tomorrow afternoon, and temperatures are going to be even hotter than what we experienced this afternoon. 71 right now at the dew points in the mid-50s. This is why I do say it's comfortable headed out the door right now, but we do warm things up to 92 for your high today. We'll start to slide back those temperatures once we get towards the dinner time hours, but winds are staying out of the south. That keeps that humidity funneled in. 72 tomorrow morning. We're topping out around 96 tomorrow afternoon. Eventually, a cold front comes through. Our winds turn out of the north, and that'll keep things a little bit more comfortable moving into Wednesday. All right, so lunchtime today, it feels like the low 90s. Our heat indices by the afternoon will feel like the upper 90s to low 100s, but that's where we are at lunchtime tomorrow. Heat indices into the upper 90s to low 100s. By tomorrow afternoon, those heat indices could be closer to 110 than they are to 100. So yes, it is going to be quite hot, and that is the reason that tomorrow especially is the alert day. Today's an alert day too, yes, but tomorrow's the one I really want you to take seriously. 85 on Wednesday. Cooler for the weekend too, but even then those temperatures are going to be into the upper 80s, close to 90 on Friday afternoon. Next week will begin to feel good.
Not nearly as humid, right?
Nowhere near as humid next week.
Sounds good. Thanks, Chris. Now to new information about the attack of a Chinese PhD student at UW. Police say they've arrested 4 suspects. Madison police say the incident happened around 10:15 Tuesday night when the student was walking alone on West Gilman. Authorities believe the 4 men punched the student to the ground, then continued to beat him. These suspects, one of whom, only 15 years old, did not take anything from the student and didn't say anything to him either. The incident appears to be similar to others that have happened downtown recently. Police believe the 4 suspects could be linked to them all. Now, the university said on Thursday that there was no evidence the attack was racially motivated. Still, the attack did spark demonstrations.
These assaults continue to bubble up, and since that brave PhD student came forward with their story, we've heard several others come up.
Friday, UW-Madison International students here marching with hundreds following reports of the attack. Organizers said they did not receive a WISC alert either after the incident. Organizers say that they want to see more action from the university on this. In a statement, UW officials said they are aware of these incidents, the recent acts of violence, but have no evidence to suggest that they were driven by race. They also say to make sure everyone on campus feels safe, to know that they are still working to do more.
Some sad news out of Jefferson County this morning, where a 14-year-old boy was found dead after going underwater at a pond. The sheriff's office says the boy was swimming at Nature's Villa when he went underwater and couldn't be found. Crews from 12 different agencies searched for the teen for most of Saturday. His body was found Sunday morning. Officials are not releasing his name quite yet. And in southern Wisconsin, an 80-year-old man was found dead in the Pecatonica River on Saturday. Deputies were sent out to a boat dock Saturday morning after a caller reported seeing a body floating in the river. First responders were able to recover the body of John Michael Flanagan from Argyle. Authorities say no foul play is suspected.
To the nation's capital now, police say 4 people were shot and a 15-year-old is dead this morning in a mass shooting that happened last night. According to the police chief, a large group was gathering and playing music out of a truck on U Street in northern D.C. when a disturbance broke out. Police say they tried to settle 2 incidents before shutting the event down. While the crowd left, the shooting happened just a few blocks away from the original location. Officials said 1 of the 3 people injured is a police officer.
CDC Director Rochelle Walensky says her staff is working over the Juneteenth holiday today to make doses available to kids under 5 as soon as Wednesday. On Saturday, a CDC advisory committee had voted unanimously to recommend the shots for infants as young as 6 months old. The Biden administration has been preparing for this rollout for weeks. It's allowing states, tribes, health centers, and pharmacies to pre-order millions of doses.
Yes, the data may change, but we have a bottom line here, which is that this infection kills children, and we have an opportunity to prevent that.
In a recent survey, less than 20% of parents with young kids said they would have them vaccinated immediately. 38% plan to wait and see. 27% they don't intend to get their kids vaccinated at all.
More local news now. A skydiving incident in Racine County has left 2 people hospitalized with life-threatening injuries. According to the sheriff's office, 2 women were tandem skydiving when they lost control of their parachute about 20 to 30 feet above the ground. They were airlifted just before 2 p.m. yesterday to a trauma center.
The U.S. Marshals Service and the FBI are now helping in the search for 4 inmates who escaped from prison this weekend. Authorities say the men escaped from a satellite camp in Hopewell, Virginia. Police aren't releasing any details about how this happened, but the Federal Bureau of Prisons is calling it a walkaway. 6:36 now. It's finally summer vacation for students, and for many kids, the break is more than just time away from school. It's also time away from home.
If you're preparing to send your child to sleepaway camp for the first time, they could be a little nervous. So McKenna Alexander is here this morning to share some of the ways that you could ease their anxiety. Hey, McKenna.
Yeah, hey, you too. If your living room now smells of bug spray and sunscreen and is just cluttered with duffel bags and packing lists, you're probably getting ready to send your kid to camp. So as much as you hope your child will have a good time, and chances are they will, the first time away from home can still be pretty scary. Now, I spoke with the director of a traditional boys camp in northern Wisconsin on how you can ease your kid into the idea of summer camp.
One of the ways that you can prepare your child is to go over camp videos with them, go over any of the materials that the camp might have sent you. Make sure that they are aware of where they're going and have a good idea as to what's going to be happening over the course of the summer.
Another way to get your camper excited for the summer is looking at camp videos, pictures, and a daily schedule so they can get a feel for what to expect during their stay.
All right, McKenna Alexander, thank you very much.
6:37 now. It's remained for decades helping people celebrate the big moments in life, holidays with families, weddings, and even new life. Now, a church in Lafayette County is celebrating its own milestone. Members of Darlington United Methodist gathered yesterday for a service of rededication and renewal in honor of its 175th anniversary. For many, the special service was a chance to walk down memory lane.
Well, it's always special. It's always special. I mean, I had a lot of Christmas and Thanksgiving and, you know, Easter and other holiday celebrations here and anniversaries and birthdays. We would come back all the time.
Church leaders say what makes their community unique is the generations of families who have remained committed to one another. They credit that commitment to their ability to remain strong in their core beliefs through decades of change. Time right now is 6:38. Outside this morning, sun is up and we are warming up quickly today. Coming up, we're going to take a deeper dive into ways to beat the heat.
And historically low levels of a lake reservoir out west could be opening up cold cases with some pretty gruesome discoveries.
This summer, prime rib is the star. Bite into the new Primal Angus Thick Burger at Hardee's. See Jurassic World Dominion now in theaters.
Save big money with 11% off everything now at Menards. Update your floor with new vinyl plank flooring from Great Lakes. It's waterproof and has an attached pad for quick installation. Save 11% on Great Lakes vinyl plank flooring. Keep your surfaces looking their best with Procter & Gamble's wide assortment of cleaning supplies. They deliver quality products from brands that you can trust, like Swiffer, Bounty, Dawn, and Tide. Right now, they're all 11% off at Menards.
Save big money at Menards. Migraine hits hard, so you hit back with Ubrelvy. You level up. You won't take a timeout. One dose of Ubrelvy works fast. It can quickly stop migraine in its tracks within 2 hours without worrying if it's too late or where you are.
Unlike older medicines, Ubrelvy is a pill that directly blocks a protein believed to be a cause of migraine. Do not take with strong CYP3A4 inhibitors. Most common side effects were nausea and tiredness.
Migraine pain relief starts with you. Learn how AbbVie could help you save. Ask about Ubrelvy, the anytime, anywhere migraine medicine.
There's a reason President Trump endorsed Tim Michels for governor.
I'm not a politician. I'm a businessman who helped build a great Wisconsin company and created thousands of jobs.
President Trump called Tim Michels an America First conservative who will support the Second Amendment, honor law enforcement, and stand strong against the woke mob.
If you want to see Madison turned upside down, then I'm asking for your vote.
Tim Michels, endorsed by President Trump for governor.
Milk chocolate beyond words. Classic recipe by Lindt.
Steinhafels has the largest selection of in-stock Tempur-Pedic mattresses. And when you purchase one, you get $300 in Steinhafels cash. Relax, it's Steinhafels.
Call for action only on News 3 Now.
Traffic is horrible.
Great. Time for another one of these.
Bite into the new Primal Burrito or Biscuit with prime rib at Hardee's. See Jurassic World Dominion now in theaters.
News 3 Now, first warn weather before.
Alert days are in the forecast for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
Madison, Janesville, Beloit, Portage, Baraboo, the Dells. This is when you really need to begin to watch the eye to the sky.
During.
We have a confirmed tornado all on the ground.
This is a serious situation. You need to take shelter immediately.
And after the storms.
You can see some of the damage here behind me this morning.
Get severe weather coverage from Madison's certified most accurate team. News 3 Now, first warn weather. You are watching News 3 Now this morning.
Over the past 2 decades, Lake Mead, the nation's largest reservoir, has dropped 180 feet and is now less than 30% full. In May, the plunging water levels at Lake Mead uncovered 2 bodies, one in a barrel that Las Vegas police identified as a homicide victim, a man who'd been shot probably between the mid-1970s and early 1980s. The second found in a newly surfaced sandbar. No foul play is suspected in that discovery. While there are still questions around the Lake Mead grim discoveries, there seems to be one certainty: more unidentified bodies could be located.
Glaciers are melting, and so those are revealing bodies. So there's a lot of different examples of how climate change is impacting forensic science and human identification. So we're going to start getting more cold cases from areas that we would not have expected to get them from.
As authorities work to identify the bodies, theories and folklore around the who, why, and how are circulating. Some have said the homicide victim was associated with the Las Vegas mob.
Just an unbelievable discovery, a body in a barrel. as these water levels drop.
Sounds pretty grim to me.
Okay, 6:43 now. Dry here as well. A lot of heat coming our way today, Chris.
Yes, it is, and it really begins to ramp up tomorrow as well. So as we open up the week, we're talking about ways that you can beat the heat as you begin to step outdoors. One of those includes the loose-fitting, even light-colored clothing. That's really going to make a big difference for you. But an even bigger difference is going to come from avoiding the alcohol and caffeine and really drinking that water as you're out and about this week. I also want to encourage checking on pets, and you see it there, checking the back seat. As temperatures warm up towards 90, it gets hot in the car incredibly fast. We're talking over 100 degrees in 10 minutes, but then in 30 minutes, 124, and then in an hour, 133. That's the temperature inside the car at 90. So if the temperature is 96, all of this happens a lot faster and you get a lot warmer. But here's the big one I want to leave you with. It's knowing the difference between heat exhaustion and heat stroke, because heat stroke is a medical emergency that requires 911. Heat exhaustion, you can just get to a cool air-conditioned place, drink some water, and take a cool shower. So know these differences between the dangers. I am going to have this posted on our website and on social media within about the next 30 minutes here.
All right, great information this morning. Chris Reese, thank you very much. As of January of this year, there are around 6,000 dairy farms here in America's Dairyland, but that number is down by 1/3 compared to 2014. One reason for that is trying to find people to work on a family dairy farm. It's hard work.
On the other hand, Wisconsin's cows are producing more milk than ever. Our Mark Kane explains why.
The Hinchley Dairy Farm has stood on this land in eastern Dane County for generations. Dwayne and Tina Hinckley are the current caretakers of these 2,500 acres. They bought the farm from Dwayne's parents, Keith and Ruth, in 2000.
You're going to get me choked up because we think about them every day. They would be so passionate and happy about what we have done. We are improving their legacy.
And they are doing that with these.
There we go.
Robots. The Hinchleys have joined a growing number of dairy farmers going high-tech, installing robotic milking machines. It's an expensive investment. The Hinchleys spent $3 million on a new barn with all the tech, but milk production here has increased. Here's how it works. The cows decide when it's time to be milked. When nature calls, the ladies line up, waiting their turn to enter the machine.
So the robot is going to prep them by brushing off their udder. After it does that, it's going to spray those brushes with hydrogen peroxide, and then it's going to sanitize her. Anytime you're touching the cow's udder, you're stimulating it, and it's going to encourage her to let down her milk.
Guided by lasers, the computer knows everything about each and every one of the 240 cows being milked, thanks to a sensor around the cow's neck.
So this girl, her name is Swinger, and she's been milking 296 days. She's 3 years old, and she's 152 days pregnant. She's coming in 3 times a day, and her goal right now is over 90 pounds.
That's 90 pounds of milk a day from one cow. Talk about happy cows. They sleep on water beds. Fogging machines keep them cool. Food is always available, and it's kept in the trough by a giant Roomba-looking like machine. The computer even monitors the health of the animals, analyzing 110 data points every time a cow comes through.
So if her milk is thick, just like when we were prepping before, if it's thick milk or watery milk, it's going to identify it, and then it will come to our phone or go to the computer. So it's going to acknowledge all different health issues with her as she's going through.
UW Ag professor Doug Reineman is a milking machine specialist. He says in a normal farm, the cows are rounded up 2 or 3 times a day to get milked by hand.
And it really disrupts their activity, and you know, cows are very social creatures, so it kind of disrupts their social networks. But in a robotic milking barn, the cows they control their own movement, and that seems to be a real positive for the cows.
Happy cows and happy farmers.
My shoulders are recovering, my hips and my knees, because I literally bent down and milked 140 cows for 9 hours a day, every single day.
But robots do not eliminate the human element of farming.
It really requires a higher level of management skill. And it's a different kind of management because, you know, a person does need to be there to provide attention to the cows that need it.
This is the future of farming. And the future of this farm is right there. Daughter Anna, A recent UW Dairy Science grad, she's now working full-time on the farm and will inherit it one day. Ready for 21st century dairy farming. Outside of Cambridge, I'm Mark Kane, News 3 Now.
Wow, so Professor Reineman says, like most technologies, the price of these robotic milking machines should come down in the future. The Hinchleys do offer public tours of the farm. Meanwhile, go to dairyfarmtours.com for more information.
Fascinating what dairy farmers are having to do these days to adapt. That's a big investment. They said $3 million for all that technology and a new barn. But the benefit there is huge. I mean, you're not having to milk those cows by hand. She's saving 9 hours a day for milking. And they've got the farm now in a place where they're going to be able to hand it down to their daughter.
I mean, the benefits are quite clear, but that high bar of $3 million, I can't imagine some family farms can afford something like that. So it's good to hear that the price is going down.
Yeah, the future of farming.
That's true. All right, 6:49 now. Coming up in the morning sprint, a new hospital location coming to Madison. We'll tell you where.
First, though, we want to say happy birthday to Jet and all the kiddos turning 3 today. Thanks for celebrating with us. We'll be right back.
Every day, News 3 Now investigates.
What you see is important. How you see is important too. Get personalized care from experienced optometrists at Shopko Optical. Better eye care. You'll see. Right now, get 30% off lenses with the purchase of any frames. Shopko Optical.
Everything's so expensive, it's stretching our family thin. It never used to be like this. It's tougher on us to make ends meet because America's too dependent on China, and Ron Johnson's making it worse. He voted against cracking down on China with tougher trade deals and voted for tax breaks to corporations shipping jobs overseas, and even refused to punish China when it manipulates its currency. And Ron Johnson even defended shipping American jobs overseas. Senator Johnson, stop making it easier on China and tougher on us.
I'm Rebecca, and you might know me from reality TV.
And this was my stubborn body fat that I just couldn't get rid of. But then I went to Sono Bello, and they permanently removed my body fat in just one visit.
It is so intensely gratifying for one visit to make this big of a change. It's amazing.
Sono Bello's board-certified surgeons use micro-laser technology to safely target and remove your diet-resistant fat cells permanently on your stomach, hips and thighs, back, and so much more.
It feels incredible to look down, and it's flat. Thank you again, Sono Bello. I'm so happy.
Schedule your free, no-obligation consultation and find out how you can get $250 off instantly. Call 1-800-595-1532 or go to sonobello.com.
Are you overloaded with debt? 13 may be your lucky number. No interest Chapter 13 debt repayment. Protect your assets, pay your debts, get a lower payment that you can afford. I'm attorney Peter Francis Geraci. Chapter 13 repayment plans start at only $275 a month. To see if you qualify, on your phone, from your home, statewide, call now or visit us online. Hit the debt-free button. Click or call now.
Shop with the fan experts at Madison Lighting to choose a quality fan that really cools your space. Indoors or out, and you'll love the chic way it looks. All fans are on sale till June 20th at Madison Lighting on Watts Road.
One bite of 100% Angus beef ballpark frank, and you'll say, hello, summer. Oh yeah, it's ballpark season.
What you see is important. That makes quality eye care important too. Get personalized care from experienced optometrists at Shopko Optical. Better eye care. You'll see. Shopko Optical welcomes more insurance plans than ever. Call to book an exam and verify coverage.
The Portage Furniture Store with free delivery on brands you know and trust.
6:52, time for the morning sprint.
We start with the reminder for your Monday. Because the 19th fell on a Sunday, the nation will observe the Juneteenth holiday today. U.S. financial markets are closed, as are most schools and government agencies. Post offices also closed, so you will not be receiving a mail delivery today.
The Dane County Medical Examiner's Office has identified the man who died after police found him with a chest wound. It happened on Madison's far east side. They say 23-year-old Trayvon Davis Williams of Dodgeville was found at an apartment on Black Onyx Drive last weekend. Davis Williams later died at the hospital. Earlier this week, police say that he and the female person of interest had a child together.
A new UW Health clinic soon to be built on Madison's west side. It will replace the Westtown Clinic. Officials say this new hospital will be built at University Row next to the current Digestive Health Center. UW Health says the new clinic will offer primary care, urgent care, and ambulatory services. If it's approved by the city of Madison, it should open in 2024.
The San Antonio Express News reports that surveillance video shows that for 77 minutes, police never tried to open a door leading to two classrooms in Uvalde, Texas elementary school. An 18-year-old gunman was inside and killed 19 children and 2 teachers. The newspaper cites police investigators who say the door was likely unlocked.
2 American volunteers from Alabama who were fighting for Ukraine are now being held. The 2 men were captured last week and are reportedly being detained by Russian-backed separatists. The Americans were interviewed by Russia's RT channel at a detention center on Friday. And in another video posted on YouTube, one of them said he'd been beaten while detained.
Wisconsin, one of 3 states taking part in a new menu item for Chipotle. It's called Mexican cauliflower rice. The fast food chain testing it out right now at 60 restaurants in Wisconsin, Southern California, and Arizona. It's grilled rice cauliflower with the same spices as the original rice, including garlic, cumin, and paprika. It's keto, vegan, vegetarian, paleo, and grain-free.
Matt Fitzpatrick crowned the winner of the 122nd U.S. Open, marking his first major victory. Wasn't an easy feat for him, though. On the back 9, there was a tight race between him, Will Zalatoris, and the master champ, Scottie Scheffler. The final major of the PGA Tour season is coming up. The Open Championship tees off July 14th.
Yellowstone National Park will reopen its southern loop at 8 a.m. Wednesday. Extensive flooding in the northern part of the park and surrounding areas wiped out bridges, roads, and homes. Park officials say more than 10,000 people had to evacuate. A 26-year-old Wapaka man who was reported missing last week is dead. According to the sheriff's office, Brandon Colligan was last seen alive June 10th in Stevens Point. Officials say he was meeting a friend at a coffee shop when he left and never returned. The friend reported Colligan had been acting strangely at the time. Colligan's vehicle was found in the Royalton area near a family member's home later that day with his phone and wallet still inside. Authorities haven't said how Colligan died or whether foul play is involved.
As you plan out today, look for things to be quite steamy for us. Temperatures going to be warming up to the low 90s. We'll keep the sunshine around all day. That humidity will also be on the increase. This afternoon, heat indices will be into the upper 90s to around 100. But tomorrow afternoon, a lot hotter for us, folks. Heat indices up above 100. In some cases between 105 and 110. Today and tomorrow are alert days because of the heat and the humidity. We'll start to cool things off by next week.